Thank you for each person here is represented in the news meeting today. We thank you very much for what you folks are doing for us here in the County of Moore. I just want to reach out and affirm the citizens here in Moore County that we are working around the clock every hour. I know the public don't see us out here and about, and they don't understand what we're doing. And I know it's frustrating to you. And I know our community is suffering here in the county, but I promise you, we are strong, and we will all come through this together. Every investigator working on this case, state, local, and federal, know what you want, and that's answers. We want to know who and why. We are committed to getting you these answers. Before we go into talking about possible suspects or leads publicly, before the person is even charged or arrested, we could jeopardize being able to hold them accountable. And I know we all want justice in the end. So we asked all of our citizens here in Moore County, please be patient with us, and we ask you to help us. Today we've expanded the grid. We have expanded out around our substations. We're going door to door, ground. We're reaching out to all the folks in this area. Anybody that may have a camera, door camera, any surveillance cameras in and around these areas that were hit, we ask you to please call us. If we hadn't already reached out to you, please call us. That number again to call us on our tip line number is 910-947-4444. Today, we're also announcing the state out of the Governor Cooper's office has offered a $25,000 reward. Moore County has matched that at $25,000. Duke Energy has also offered $25,000. So a total of $75,000 reward has been offered for information leading to the arrest and convictions of the persons responsible for this act. Again, I say to the citizens of Moore County, we're working hard day and night. We're not going to give up. We're going to continue to fight and to bring these people to justice. So thank you all. God bless.
Thank you, Sheriff Fields. Thank you for your team's support. Our next will be Jeff Brooks from Duke. He has a lot of good news to bring to the citizens of Moore County about the power restoration. So at this time, I will ask Jeff Brooks to come up.
Good afternoon, and thank you to the Sheriff for the ongoing work that law enforcement is doing. We will continue supporting that, and certainly are glad that we can be a part of helping provide incentives for information in the case. It's been a good day again. We have made some great progress yesterday. We brought on several thousand customers yesterday. We brought on several thousand a few days before. And today I'm happy to say that we began the final push to completion. Around 9 a.m. this morning or so, we began the actual restoration of customers. At that time, we had all the equipment in place, installed, calibrated, and synchronized to the grid. And we began bringing in customers a few thousand at a time. It was a phased approach, very manual. We actually brought in a number of employees last night to begin that final preparation and push, several dozen employees to add to the existing crews that were in the substation. And I'm happy to say that as of now, there's only around 1,200 to 11, or about 1,200 customers that are still remaining out. Those are down a little bit southeast of Southern Pines, and that's it. We have dropped from about 35,000 at the first of the day down to about 1,200 here in the afternoon, and we will continue with those final restorations. We do anticipate having that completed this evening, and there may be possibilities of an isolated pocket or two where, with the equipment having been off for several days, we could have a routine small few customer issue there. If that happens, our line crews will respond just as they would on any day when there's an outage, and they'll get those back on as quickly as possible. But we are very pleased that we can get this work completed for the people of Moore County. We know what a challenging time that it's been, and we have been right there with you and are very pleased to be able to deliver this a day ahead of schedule from where we had predicted, and hopefully even a few hours ahead of where we predicted just yesterday for today. So With that, I will turn it over and end this session of information.
Thank you, Jeff. From the county report, I would like to say thank you to all the agencies that have reached out to us, state, local, federal, all the citizens, the churches, the businesses, and the citizens. We thank you for your support during this trying event. It has been testing for everyone, and we appreciate all of the support that has gone through that. The state of emergency still will remain in effect. The curfew will remain in effect till 5 a.m. in the morning. We will rescind the state of emergency and the curfew at 5 a.m. in the morning. So we will go through the night based on Duke's estimated time of restorations. We will lift it at 5 a.m. in the morning. The sports complex at Hillcrest, the shelter will remain open until noon tomorrow. So if citizens still have concerns or have isolated issues that they need to get out of the elements, charge their electronic devices, they can go to the shelter at Hillcrest Park through tonight and up till lunchtime tomorrow. The shower and laundry services that are at First Baptist Church in Aberdeen and First Baptist Church in Pinehurst, they will remain active until noon tomorrow. These meal sites that have been provided by Baptist-owned missions, they will provide the meals tomorrow, and they will stop that operations tomorrow at 2:30. So they will be at the same meal sites as today, but again, that will end tomorrow at 2:30. Currently, as I said yesterday, we have no fatalities related to motor vehicle accidents during this power outages, and we did have one potential death that we've had. A lot of people asked about that. That case has been turned over to the medical examiners, and at this time I have no additional information at this portion on the death that got circulated through the social media. At this time, I will turn open to Nick Pacerno, the Chairman of the Board of Commissioners, for his comments.
Thank you, Brian. Good afternoon. Welcome all. It's been a good day. First of all, I want to really reiterate everything that Brian said about all the thanks to our churches and our community for the way they've reached out and helped each other. It just goes to show for the nature of how the people of Moore County are made up. They love each other, and they really unite when we have times of trouble, as we've had. A few years ago, we had a dam at Wood Lake tried to take out quite a few people, and we saw the same uniting force in Moore County. So we're going to be open for business. We're the home of American golf. I hope you will get that word out, that our golf courses will be back open. They'll be playing golf, and we'll hope you come and visit us. And we look forward to seeing you here. We also, as Brian, I think he mentioned that I will be signing the order to rescind the emergency declaration just when I leave here, and that will be effective 5 a.m. in the morning. So thank you again for being here. Sorry the circumstances that brought you here. So come back, join us, come play some golf, and we'll show you Moore County hospitality. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Chairman Pacerno. At this time, we'll ask County Manager Wayne Vest for additional comments.
Thank you, Brian. And once again, thank you to everybody who's here today. Y'all hung in like troopers through this event, and we really appreciate all that you've done to help get the word out and keep our citizens informed. As the power has come back on, so has our community, our county services, and as Brian said and the chairman said, we're back to business as usual. There may be a few county operations that are still somewhat impacted. Any of those exceptions to business as usual will be they'll be posted on our website. And with that being the case, I do want to recognize just a few people. I said on Sunday it's all hands on deck, and it's been that way. But I would be remiss if I didn't recognize these folks, because from the time my phone rang Saturday afternoon, these folks have rallied. They rallied to the cause, and they've continued to rally, and they will until this event comes to a conclusion. So I do want to recognize Moore County Public Utilities. I know when the power went out, there's a lot of folks on wells, and their power was out. They didn't have running water. But anyone that was on Moore County Public Utilities continued to get water and sewer service. And those folks have been out day in, day out, night in and night out, making sure that the water continued to flow. Not only that it continued to flow, but it was safe for consumption. We were also able to help the town of Taylortown when their water supply went out for whatever reason. We were able to put in an emergency interconnect there to supply the town. A very successful operation and in short order. Our property management staff, our IT staff, Parks and Recreation staff, Department of Social Services, the Health Department, all of those folks have been working with and manning the emergency shelter, and it takes a team effort, takes a community effort, and again, they've done an outstanding job keeping that service up and running with not only shelter for our citizens, but charging stations, warming stations. We had shower facilities. If anyone wanted to come by, meals have been mentioned. So, this is just, again, the tip of the iceberg. And of course, Brian Phillips has done an outstanding job as our public safety director, he and his staff, and y'all met the sheriff a couple of times. So as our county government operations have come back on full force, our citizens and our businesses are going to look to come back in full force as well. And I just want to say, if you're within the sight and sound of this press conference, please patron Moore County. Come back to our businesses. They have lost a tremendous amount over the last few days. It's been it's a holiday season, so whatever you can do to help make them whole, restore them financially, will be greatly appreciated. If you're dining out, if you're only going to go out once, go out twice. If you're going to shop and buy one package, buy two packages, and order appetizers, order entrees, order dessert, and just don't forget the waitresses and the staff that are working these restaurants, because they haven't been able to work for the last few days either. So when you get to the end and you get your bill, be sure to tip and tip nicely. I do just want to say that, again, thank you to all the citizens of the county, because I tell you, y'all have made it much easier by your kindness and your concern for all your fellow county neighbors and citizens. And just thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate it. It's heartwarming to live in this community. I grew up in Moore County, so I know what it's like, and I'm proud to be able to stand here and represent Moore County and our staff and our citizens and just tell the world what a great place this is to work, live, and raise a family. With the dining comment, we've asked our health director, Matt Garner, to come and make a few comments, because we do want people to know when you go out and you're dining that, hey, it is safe. Go out, enjoy, no concerns. And with that, I will invite our health director, Matt Garner, to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne, and good afternoon, everyone. Yesterday, the Health Department issued a temporary suspension of operating permits for food service establishments who were subject to power outages following the substation attacks that occurred over the weekend. This did not include establishments that did not lose power or that maintained power with a generator. Our intent was to protect the public health by preventing the potential for any foodborne illness due to restaurants operating without power or without the means of refrigerating and maintaining food at proper temperatures. This action is common in situations where there are food safety concerns for establishments that have lost power for extended periods. All told, the outages affected approximately 618 food establishments in our county. Since yesterday, our office has been working diligently to contact and field calls from these affected establishments to verify that they have been in compliance with emergency protocols for food safety in a power loss event. As of this afternoon, we have been able to make contact and verify compliance with nearly 3/4 of those businesses that were affected, and we continue to do so. Once verified with one of our environmental health specialist staff, establishments are given approval to operate business as usual as power is restored. To provide this verification, establishments have been able to call our Office of Environmental Health at 910-947-6283. Following today's news conference, in light of the updated power restoration information, the Health Department plans to issue notice to all camps, tattoo artists, and food establishments that the temporary permit suspensions will be lifted and the permits reinstated, provided that the establishments have satisfactorily completed the following steps. 1, discarded any time temperature control for food safety food items that was out of temperature control for more than 4 hours at temperatures above 41 degrees Fahrenheit. 2, are capable of providing food from an approved source that has been maintained in temperature control and provides invoices that show the source of the food. 3, are capable of providing adequate hot water that is available for cleaning and hand washing as required and referenced in the North Carolina Food Code. And 4, lastly, are capable of providing properly functioning refrigeration equipment with adequate cold storage capacity to maintain foods at 41 degrees Fahrenheit or below. Please keep in mind that once restaurants do reopen, the ones that have been affected by the power outages, establishments may have their own timeline for reopening if they had closed. For instance, while some may be ready to reopen immediately, others may still be awaiting deliveries of new food inventory if they had to dispose of any food items during the outage. And while we're talking about food safety, I just wanted to mention food safety at home as well, and following the lead of our restaurants. Making sure that folks that lost power during the outage, if you had food items that were subject to temperature excursion, be sure to discard of any food that does not fit within that realm of safety, and which we just said with the restaurants, it's the same as with home. If you're above 41 degrees for more than 4 hours, and a lot of folks were. So, as the old saying goes, when in doubt, throw it out. We don't want anybody subject to any foodborne illness as a result of these outages at home or in our restaurants. So, stay safe. That's all I have for you. I'll turn it over to the next speaker.
Thank you, Matt. We have asked our municipalities to come to join us today. I will start with Mayor Robert Farrell from Aberdeen.
Thank you. On behalf of the 9,000 citizens of the town of Aberdeen, I want to begin by thanking Duke Progress Energy for their immediate response. This has been a trying several days with no lights. We have major highways going through town with no stoplights. Luckily, we've had not one accident. I also want to thank Carl Colasaco, our police chief, and his men and women of the Aberdeen PD. Philip Richardson, the fire chief of Aberdeen, and his men and women of the fire department, and Harold Watts, who is our public works director, who kept all the water pumps working in the town of Aberdeen, even though they had no power. We brought in generators and kept them going. So we are very lucky that we have a nice crew that works for the town of Aberdeen. I want to thank the Sheriff's Department. I want to thank the governor that was here 2 days ago. And on behalf of everybody, we're glad that this is over. And one last comment, if you know what today is Pearl Harbor Day. That brought a whole nation together on that attack. And this attack has brought this entire county together and other regions also. As I was leaving town this afternoon, there was a truck that showed up with bottled water from Alamance County, which is a long way from here. So this shows how resilient we are and what a lucky place